Good morning. So we are continuing with the Uddhava Gita. We had completed till verse 12 in chapter 20. So we will be progressing from 13 verse 13 onwards. Yesterday what we learned was that the gunas independently have a different kind of a potency. And when they mix together, they create a completely different atmosphere. So Sattva Guna mixed with Rajas will give us the feeling of I, me, myself. Rajoguna mixed with Tamas will give a different output, which means there is going to be a lot of negativity involved. Person can get angry and the performance of duties because of anger, like you might have seen, some people get very angry when they do not get something. So suppose you are deprived of wealth or family love, and then you want to go and show the world. So you want to become the richest person in the world, and this is connected to the anger and various other negative feelings. And this negative feelings is the mixture of the tamoguna with the rajoguna. There is no sattva in it. So this is something which you need to know. And the gunas, they seep inside through the mind. Mind is the doorway for the gunas to come in. So every time when you use your mind, and the moment you say, I did it, or this is me, or I am doing this, even if you are doing anything good in this world, let us say, for example, you are building a hospital, or you are taking care of the poor people, you are donating to charity, and the moment you even acknowledge that you have done those things, even in thought, words, or deeds, you have fallen down. There is the mixing of the gunas. So you are no longer on the path of sattva. You are totally on the path of rajas and then tamas. So this is what we learned yesterday. So today we are going to start with the verse 13, which gives us an idea about a certain aspects of sattva, rajas and tamas. So we are doing Uddhava Gita chapter 20 verse 13. When sattva, which is bright, pure and placid, overcomes the other two gunas, then a man is endowed with happiness, virtue, knowledge, and the like. Does it ever happen that sattva guna overtakes the other guna in today's day and age? It doesn't. Because those who are lounging, literally rolling in the muck of tamas, find it extremely difficult to become rajasic in nature. The lazy people of this world, if you tell them that I want this job done, they find it very difficult to do. They will give you ample reasons why they cannot do. And then a rajas person, a person full of rajas. I built this company. I am the greatest. I made this organization. I am the pioneer of this place. I raised billions of dollars. I am like this and I am like that. Reminds you of a very strange person called Jack Ma, isn't it? A person who was just tom-tomming everywhere. He was telling us that he was not allowed in Harvard so many times. And then he became the richest man in China and the richest man in the world. Today, that man is nowhere to be seen. His companies are literally taken over by the organizations, by the state. So, the person who rose from tamas to rajas cannot even enter sattva. But here Krishna is saying, if the grace of God is on you, or if Krishna deigns it, then it is possible that sattva can overrun rajas and tamas. But you have to be the patra, the vessel for doing it. Do you really think you are capable of even becoming sattvic from any angle? If you ask yourself, There are lots of people who want to become Sattvic. The want and the desire makes you Rajasic. I want to be with Krishna makes you Rajasic. No. Sattva Guna doesn't teach us I want and I desire. There are no wants, needs, and any kinds of, this is where I have to be. There is no end goal there. No. It is to just accept it. Acceptance is what is required. God has put me in this position. I have to accept it graciously. If He is not giving me food, or if He doesn't give me a house, if He makes me stay on the road, or maybe in a jungle, and He gives me only one meal a day, or neither that, He doesn't even give me that. Acceptance doesn't come. So to become sattvic in nature, would you be able to handle this kind of a situation? And this is what happens. When a person is overcome by sattva, he becomes bright. Light shines on his face. He becomes a effulgent being. He becomes pure and he becomes placid. There is no activity in the person. There is no anger. There is no upset. The person becomes absolutely like still water. He has the placidity of the mind. The mind doesn't get upset over anything. Anything can happen to this person, and yet he is literally like a very peaceful person. Doesn't it remind you of Gautam Buddha? It should remind you of all the great sages like Ramana Maharshi or Sai Baba. Sai Baba can't be counted in that, but at least Ramakrishna Paramahansa can be counted. Sai Baba was actively involved, but he was beyond the gunas, by the way. Okay? So, placidity of the mind comes into the picture. And then what happens? This person is then endowed with happiness, the blissful state of this existence. The person just exists blissfully. There is no such thing as disturbance in the person. He is always blissful. He's got tremendous amount of good virtues. He has got knowledge. Knowledge flows from this person literally. You see, how many people become knowledgeable on their own? Not because they have read something, but because the gates of the heavens opened up. The libraries of the heaven have opened up for this person, and the knowledge flows from that person's mouth. He is a sage, a saint, and a godly person. Sattvic guna. So the abundance of sattva is there in this kind of a person. So now we go to the next verse. We are doing the Uddhava Gita, chapter 20, verse 14. When Rajas, which is characterized by attachment, differentiation and activity, overcomes Tamas and Sattva, then he gets work, fame, opulence and pain. Rajas is connected by attachment. The person is attached to his position, his name. I am so and so. My name is this. My family is the owner of this. I have been in business for so many years. Person has that arrogance. You can see literally ego dripping from his mouth. Every now and then, wherever he goes, he needs that people should recognize him. People should look at him and say, yes, you are a great person. Have you seen even these so-called saints of today? They are exactly like this. They want recognition. They want people to know them. They do flourishes when they talk. They do all kinds of gimmickry. They wear clothes so that people are attracted to them. They want to be in the public eye. So they will release press statements. They are there literally across the world. In all media, people are waiting for them to write, say something. The moment they say it, it is carried in the newspapers and in the social media and every other place. This kind of a person has got attachment. A person who makes the differentiation, you are somebody else. They make that kind of a, show that I don't believe in you, I don't trust you, I don't, the kind of differentiation comes up. You're from my side, he is not. The whole concept of making differences in the society. He is a Muslim, I am a Hindu, he is a Christian. This kind of differentiation that comes about. Or the differentiation in the community, like say I am a Brahmin, you are a Kshatriya. You are black, I am white. The differentiation which happens. His fellow is an ignorant fellow. I am such a great scholar. Have you seen the nose up in the air kind of people who will look down on you as if you are some dirt on the roadside? Yes. Now understand their rajas is rising and they are constantly active. Whenever you talk to them, they are saying, I'm busy, I'm busy, I am busy, I am busy, and I am busy. Even during the times of pandemic, they are very busy. They don't even have the time to even pick up the phone and talk to somebody. I am very busy. I am minting billions, you see. These people. So the Rajas has overcome Tamas and Satwa. Satwa in which way? You may be a saint, you may be a good person, but if you are driven by desire, I want to become famous, I want people to know me, I want to do so many things, activity based, I want to do this and I want to do that, I want to build dams, I want to build colonies of people, I want people to eat food, I want this, I want that. You have discarded Sattva and now you are becoming Rajasic. And Tamas. In olden times, I used to make a lot of money. But nowadays, I make money, but I see to it that the poor people are fed. That is a graduation from Tamas to Rajas. So leaving these two gunas aside, Rajas becomes quite prominent. For this kind of a person, he is driven by work, fame, opulence. And in all that comes pain. Pain for what reason? The person's life is painful because he's overworking. He has all kinds of problems. Problems which are connected not only to his body but to his mind as well. He is always dwelling in the mind thinking, oh, this person will go ahead of me. What am I going to do? So they have a mental breakdown. They are not able to handle their life properly. There is no balance in their life. They may be having problems at home, but they may be successful at work. Or they may be giving a lot of money to charity, but yet they are thinking how to make more money. One day, one person told me that, yes, I can give you so much, but I will have to get this first in return. What is he talking about? You are doing a transaction. If this is a transaction is always connected to the Rajoguna. Please understand this. Give me this, then I will give you that. Somebody told me, Guruji, you wanted to build an ashram. First give me that wealth, then I will make an ashram for you. I looked at that person and I told, are you talking nonsense? Why are you talking nonsense? I am not even interested in any ashram or any place like that in my life. So I should first give you and then from yours I will get something. Why do I need that? I can get it myself if I want to. Do you get the point? Why do I need idiots like you? That you will give me a little from your, little what we say as a bheek. You want to give me what is called as a beg. What you're going to give me is for a beggar? No. You are in the Rajoguna. And because you are in the Rajoguna, you are always going to overcome. Yeah, this is the way how it works. You person has overcome the Tamoguna and the Sattva. And the person can dwell in the Rajas. So we move to the next verse. We are doing Uddhava Gita, chapter 20, verse 15. When tamas, which is characterized by infatuation, ignorance and dullness, overcomes rajas and sattva, then he is stricken with grief, infatuation, sleep, cruelty and expectation. When tamas, which is characterized by infatuation, people consider love as infatuation, you know. But actually, infatuation is not anything to do with love. It is just the feeling that, oh, I like this person, I love this person, I am always staying with this person. Most of the people you will find, those who are there in marriage, they are not in love. They are infatuated for a certain amount of time. That infatuation is just a superficial layer of things. Oh, I like him because he's so pretty, he's so handsome, she's so nice, she's so good, she's so kind. That is why. What has kindness got to do with love? Oh, that person is trying to save me from disaster. So I owe it to that person. Wow. And then the person says, okay, let us do something in life. People get married for the sake of infatuation. Have you not seen all these marriages that happen? They are married for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years. That's it. And then they give up. Yesterday's story, Jennifer Lopez. What is happening? You will find that it is exactly like that. A person can be infatuated in life many times. One of the superstars of the Hindi film industry, in the last 10 years of his life, he has got 10 girlfriends. And now he's getting married to another one. Do you think this person is even in love? There is no love anywhere. So please understand, if you are infatuated by something, just because of the looks or whatever the other person is offering, it cannot be called love. And if you are infatuated, and if you think that you are going to do something with your life, then that infatuation leads you to the tamasic guna, not even rajasic and sattvic. You have gone into the gutters of tamas. Please remember one thing. Do you remember what I told you? When a person goes on the tamasic guna, what happens to that person? Infatuation leads to tamas. And if you are in the tamasic guna, your next life is going to be of a worm, a very, very unpalatable character, or a ghost or devil or one of those things, a rakshasa. That is your next life. You can never be saved after that. At least in Rajas, you have got a chance to be a human, at least a poor human in your next life. But if you have gone into infatuation, then please understand, because of this infatuation, and ignorance is covering you. You see, ignorance covers a person totally. What happens is, when a person gets infatuated by an object, I will give you one very good example of infatuation. There are lots of cameras, which are getting released in the last 6 months' time. Beautiful cameras from Sony, Canon, Nikon, Fuji, and all these companies. They are releasing cameras, beautiful cameras, each costing a bomb. Now you may get infatuated by a brand or the camera. Oh, it is a full frame, it can do this, it can do that. The camera itself is nearly 6 lakhs and the lens is around 3 lakh rupees. So you are spending 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs only for the camera and the lens. Let us say like that. 2 months later, an alternative comes in the market. And that alternative is made by another company. And they say our processor is better. Full frame. It can do in not only in 4K, it can do in 6K and 8K also. And it is available for 10 lakh rupees, including the lenses. At that time, you feel that twinge in your heart, saying, why did I buy this? It happens to your iPhones. You see, iPhone company keeps you on the tenterhooks every year. They will release the next version and then the next version and then the next version. Samsung, iPhone companies, Apple and all these companies, you see that OnePlus. Now I don't know whether it is OnePlus 7, 8, 9, 10, 100, God knows. But every year they will come out with OnePlus something. And the moment the next phone comes out, by the time you have had the money to buy the first version of it, already the second one is launched. And then you feel cheated. And then you feel miserable. Same thing happens. A product is not selling. And you just bought it. And then suddenly there is a 20% discount on the product. Because, oh, this is Gudi Padwa. Oh, this is this. This is that. Independence Day sale. This sale. That sale. And you say, I just bought this phone for so many 1.5 lakhs and now it's coming for 1.2 lakhs. I hate this company. Now it is not called love at all. You don't like that phone of yours also. Do you get this? This is the current day of infatuation. Cameras, cell phones, girlfriends, boyfriends, drinks. Every day new drinks are coming in the marketplace. And today you will be amazed to know this is a very, very strange phenomena which is happening. In the olden times, there were very big organizations which used to launch liquor in the marketplace. Okay? A few days ago, there was Women's Day. The latest brands which are launched, they are launched all by women. I read about 3 companies launching product in the last 6 months or 1 year's time, all coming from one place called Goa. And they are all different brands and they have come up with niche segment. I mean, those who understand my marketing language will know, oh, they have launched in the niche segment and the women are into liquor. Doesn't mean that they should not be. They can be even in drugs. It doesn't matter to me. Instead of all the men running the cartels, the women can be running the cartels. That Gangubai Kathiawadi, that film where it is coming, will teach you all those things. Well, do you get what I am saying? This thing is called infatuation. Changing drinks, changing women, changing men, changing this one, changing that one. It is called infatuation. This is a temporary kind of a thing. And then it's literally like, I don't like this dress. I will not wear this from tomorrow. I will wear another one. Suppose I say to somebody, oh, you have put on weight. Immediately the person says, oh, I put on weight. And immediately the insecurity comes in the person. I look fat, I look fat, I look fat, I look fat. Where you can't see fat anywhere. I deliberately do these kind of things to people because I want them to understand they should not fall for this kind of stupidity. They're petty-minded people who are infatuated by their own bodies, their minds, and their world. They like one thing today, tomorrow they will like something else. That is called infatuation. Then, ignorance. They are total duffers. You ask them any question, I don't know. I was teaching somebody over here. I said, you might have done your post-graduation, you might have done a PhD. But do you know even A, B, C, D of what you have learned? No, because today's day and age, people study only for getting ranks. They get a good fancy degree, but no real knowledge. There is nothing inside. They don't even know how to buy vegetables in the marketplace. It doesn't mean that they are supposed to buy. What I mean very simply is common sense is not there with these highly educated people. They are total duffers. And that is what is called ignorance. You might be a Nobel Prize winner, and if you don't know how to buy stupid stuff in this world, then you are Nobel Prize. No, you are not even noble. You are ignoble. Ignoble means completely ignorant. You are a duffer of the biggest order. This is the truth. Why should a person be like this? If a person is like that, he is in the tamoguna, and his rajas and sattva has been overtaken. So did you get this point? He is overcome with dullness. I did this, you see. I am very happy with my life. The dullness is their happiness. They will always be looking very zonked, completely drugged. If you look at their eyes also, their eyes are looking glazed. See, the idea that you have a life which is different, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to go and disturb somebody else. Last night, Chitti over here, the person had fixed up an appointment for 8 o'clock in the night. And he had given this person half an hour to 1 hour so that the person can discuss. This person pings at 1 a.m. in the night. Are you free just now? What? Person is staying in India. What do you think you are? You're some night owl? And then giving a reason that I was not feeling well. If you are not feeling well, why are you pinging somebody at 1 o'clock in the night? Doesn't that teach you that you are the biggest dunce on earth? It is if you take that call or if you answer this person, then you also join the category of becoming a duffer. Then you are welcome to Tamas. Those who work late in the night, till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, some people really work. And they say, it is required by my company. It is required by my organization. Today I wrote something. This was written more than 10 years ago, 2010. In that time I had written, you have the choice in your hands to say no to this kind of stupidity. Otherwise you are going to become a dullard in life. Why do you have to take up projects which are going to keep you awake in the middle of the night? The sun is not awake for human beings. The moon is awake. The sun is on the other side, you see. Otherwise, we'll have to shift the whole north to south pole and south pole to north pole. We'll have to do that. And where there is water, there will be land. And where there is land, there will be water. Do you think you will like that? Think about it. If the whole world works in tandem in a certain time zone and the way it is to be done, why is it necessary that somebody has to work at a different time zone? That person becomes a dullard. This person has overcome rajas and sattva. If you succumb to this kind of a working, if you succumb to infatuation, if you succumb to all the ignorance in the world, then you have become a tamasic person. Then what are you going to be stricken with? You will be stricken with grief. You are going to be always in grief. What am I going to do? My life is a mess. The whole place is horrible. I don't like my people. Look at those people who are working till 2:30, 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Ask them. They will say how bad their bosses are, how bad the company is, how bad everybody around them is. Their wives might be sleeping, but they are working like owls in the night. What are you? Are you a ghost or something? Doesn't that tell you something? Those who are listening, please remember this. If your timelines are different, then you are not a human being. You are a ghost who has taken the job of a human. Do you get this point? You should be hanging upside down on some tree. Yes. And then, yeah, you can haunt everybody. Infatuation. They are driven by infatuation. Sleep. In You will find that most of the time their eyes are closing. During the day also, I have some people who come here for satsang sometimes. They will come and they will sit in the morning, but their eyes are closing. Why? Because they were working till 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. in the morning. What kind of an organization and what kind of a company do you keep? And by the way, that company is nothing to do with USA or England or all those places. No, it's an Indian organization with an Indian partner and an Indian person working for India. Do you get the point? The boss is an idiot, the staff is a double idiot. And because the boss is driven by tamas, the whole company is run by tamasic people. If they are running the company, then these people are going to be like that only, full of tamas. They will be totally tired. The whole life of theirs, they will be looking tired. This is how they are. They are falling asleep during daytime. This is not good. It's not good for health also. Grief, infatuation, sleep, cruelty. They will be driven by cruelty. They will themselves be cruel to other people. Because the other people are not responding to them in that manner, that is why they will be cruel. Then expectation. They will have tremendous amount of expectation from others. Oh, if I am awake, you can also be awake. What? If you are a duffer, you want another person to be a duffer? How does that work? Please understand one thing. If you are a human being, your timings are different and your timings are not ghostly timings. Those who work in different hour zones are totally in that zone. Then the company should make arrangements for you to be available in that zone, isn't it? And this goes for everybody, by the way. You have to be up at Brahma Murtam. If you truly want to be sattvic in life, you have to be awake at Brahma Murtam. Doesn't mean that I have not slept the whole night. No, you have taken enough rest. You are up at 3:30, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning. Yes. And you are bright and sunny and cheerful. And you are ready for the day. That's what you should be. Then you are in the Sattva Guna. If you are going to be awake till 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning and then sleeping the next day, then you are in the Tamoguna. Then you are not a human being. You are truly a ghost. So we move to the next one. We are doing Uddhava Gita, chapter 20, verse 16. When the mind stuff is cheerful, the sense is subdued, the body intrepid, and the mind unattached, know that to be sattva, through which I am realized. Krishna can only be realized through sattva guna. Please remember these words. If you are in the tamo guna or if you are in the sattva, in the rajoguna, you can never meet Krishna from any angle. No way. If you are not going to be doing those kind of things which I have mentioned, and now I'm going to mention more. If the mind stuff is cheerful, you got to be cheerful 24/7. You can't be having, doomsday kind of my father, he treated me like this. My mother is like this. My boss is like that. My children are like this. Oh, my dogs, Oh, this world is full of diseases. I went for this and I did that. And this person is never cheerful. If you want to be in the Sattva Guna, you have to be 24/7 cheerful. Every person who is in the Sattva Guna has to look at the upside of life. The upside of life is extremely important. You cannot be, rolling in that self-pity and all that. No, you cannot be doing that. You cannot be saying, oh, this is hurting, that is hurting, my tooth is having problem, my legs are having problem, my this is not good, my that is not good. And creep, 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 creep. Then you are no longer in Sattva, sir. Those who are on the path of Sattva, only those people are entitled to come to Krishna's domain. The rest of the people, those who want to be awake at 4 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the morning because they have not slept the whole night, I'm sorry, out. Krishna is not even going to look at them because they belong to the devilish zones. The devil works in the night. So their passport will be stamped with red, a red passport. Got it? Krishna's passport is yellow and blue. Got the answer? So that passport is there if you are only in the Sattva Guna, which is white. Now look at it. The mind stuff is cheerful. Person is always cheerful. He looks at any object, even if the object is a negative object, he still sees positive in it. Did you get what I'm saying? Every negative object is appearing like positive. And it happens immediately. It's called mind stuff. So it doesn't mean that in the mind I was thinking about it and now I'm thinking better. No. The thought itself should be coming to your mind. This is good. This is very nice. Let us say your taxi comes half an hour late. You have ordered an Uber or Ola or a Lyft or something like that. It doesn't come for half an hour. And then it comes. And then in front of your house, the thing has a puncture. How are you going to feel? What is the first thought that comes to your mind? I'm getting late for my appointment. Why did you Uber send me this one? Why did this happen? You're immediately going into the negative aspect of it. And you will keep on complaining about it. This is never the case. Please understand one thing. Those who are on the path of Sattva, they will look at it in such a manner. God doesn't want me to go early. So, He's made arrangements so that I can go 1 hour late. Because that place might not have opened up at all. This is positivity. This is cheerfulness. Otherwise, cribbing all the time. You can't come in time, blah, 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 blah. You blast that person, you blast the, services. You call up Uber on there or whoever, Ola, and say, why your cab has not come in time? I am getting so late, blah, blah, blah. So much of kit that these people will do. Those who are in the cheerful, they don't care a damn. Prior to this 1 year, before pandemic, if the airline says that I have to reach the airport at least 60 minutes before departure, I am always there 3 hours before. People have asked me, are you nuts? I said, no. I get sufficient time to do a lot of other things. Got it? And it really doesn't matter. One day a very funny thing happened. I was sitting in Dabolim Airport, Goa. My flight was in the afternoon. I reached there sometime earlier during the day. I think 11 o'clock and the flight was some 2:30 or 3 o'clock or something. Just when the flight was supposed to be announced, the flight is delayed by 1 hour. Then it became delayed by 2 hours. Then it became delayed by 3 hours. Then it became delayed by 4 hours. And finally I got the flight at 8:30 in the night. Now, naturally, think about it. If you were sitting over there, you would have got infuriated. You would have got totally angry. You would have called out names. I was least bothered about it. Why? What difference does it make? The idea is very simple. It should never make a difference to you. And this is the truth. If you are going to be affected, then you are going to be in trouble. Once upon a time, I was supposed to go to another country. Okay? And please understand, all these fancy countries like Americas, United States and England and France and all these people, the Schengen visa and the US visa is not given to me. Because first they want to see whether I have some money or something. Whether I have properties, money, whether I have a job. That is what they are always looking for. I don't have any. I am a sadhu kind of a person. I don't have money. I don't have properties. I don't have anything in my name. So naturally, these people don't give me visas. So I went to the airport because I was flying to a destination which is further than America's. It was in South America. I was going to South America. So when I went to the airport the first day, British Airways looks at my passport and says, "You do not have a landing this thing. You cannot even enter the airport, sir." I said, "Okay, what is to be done? We cannot allow you on the flight." Now imagine, this is more than 36 or 48-hour flight from one part of the world to the other part of the world. From one continent to the fifth continent, I think. And it was very funny. So I said, okay, fine. So those who had come to drop me, I called them up and I said, see, I have to go back. So they came and dropped me outside. I sat in the car and I went home. Next day, they booked another ticket on Air France. Air France said, this flight, and by the way, Air France gave us the guarantee that they are not going to ask me for the visa, a Schengen visa for the Charles de Gaulle airport. Okay, so I went. At the counter, they looked at, they said, you don't have a Schengen. I'm sorry, we cannot grant you. You have to go back. So I went back. The third day, Emirates, they said, do you have a visa? I said, no. I have a visa for South America. I don't have visa for any other countries in between. Okay, that does not matter. You see, your connecting flight is less than 11 hours from Dubai. So you are allowed. So I flew from one country to another where the US visa and the Schengen is not allowed. The third day. And then I landed in Lima, Peru. At around 9 o'clock in the night. My flight was at 5 o'clock in the morning. I slept on the floor over there at the airport, along with all the Peruvians. You see, lots of nice Peruvians. So I slept with all of them on the floor. What does it matter? Does it really matter? And everybody was on tenterhooks. Guruji, will you be able to go to that country? Don't worry. My universe works magic. I don't need to bother my head about going from one place to the other. If there is something that has to be done, this is called cheerfulness. You don't have to get angry. You don't have to be upset. Imagine if this happens to you. You are going from one end of the world to the other end of the world, and 3 or 4 times you are told you cannot go. What will happen to you? You are going to be angry, upset, and all these things will come to you. Isn't it? But that shouldn't affect a person. Why does it matter? God has willed you not to go by that flight. And then a very beautiful thing happened. I landed in Brazil. Okay. And I don't know any language over there. So I was just roaming around the airport, just completely lost. Okay. And when I was lost, at least 10 people, all beautiful looking girls, they came and they said, sir, can we help you? And then they gave me a flight which was totally empty. I was the only passenger in the flight. Doesn't that sound very strange to you? There was nobody in the flight. Everybody was attending to me. And the flight which should have taken many hours to reach, it reached in half the time because there was no passengers at all. So it was a very funny thing. So what I'm trying to tell you over here is, you just have to take it as it comes, cheerfully. Your mind stuff should be cheerful. Please remember this. This is the way in which you have to live. Then the senses are subdued. You are not bothered about the senses. Senses are what? All your, you see, you can see, hear, touch, feel, and all those. Why should they be upset? They should not be upset at all. It's on the contrary. The senses should literally work with you smoothly. It's okay, it doesn't matter. The body, which revolts in such type of situation. I was listening to a very good actor called Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant was in Calcutta for 3 months shooting for some film. And he was talking about something that was very strange. He said, the only time I was outside the toilet was when I had to take when they called me for the shoot. Otherwise, because the Indian food is like this, I was always living in the toilet, in the bathrooms. So doesn't that tell you something? Control over your body. Your body, your mind, your senses is so critical. And this is the reason why you have to be always not bothered so much about the body. My hand is hurting. My legs are hurting. My head is paining. This is happening. That is happening. Why? Everybody's hand pains. Everybody's leg pains. But no, yours is quite different. Go to the hospital. Go meet some doctor. Maybe he'll give you something. Yesterday I went for my corona shot. Okay. They told me that hey, small girl also giving me. I think she was a trainee student or something like that. She stuck the needle. And I told them I came on the first day to take a shot because I was the first in the queue. And the password from the union government, our government is so great that they don't send the passwords. Password means if I have to log on to the internet and update the data. Because everything happens by means of Aadhaar card. Okay. So they had not sent the password. So those people were just twiddling their thumbs, sitting. The government officials as well as the hospital. They were doing nothing. And then I went yesterday. They said that it's a good thing that you did. You didn't come. I mean, you came and you sat and you went away. Because for 7 days this problem existed. The passwords were not coming, nothing was happening. And yesterday, in 2 minutes time, they called me, I took the shot, I had to sit there for half an hour, sat there for half an hour, came back, and I thought, the satsang happened at 5 o'clock instead of 4:30. Isn't it? This is what happens. Why should you bother so much about it? The idea that my hand is paining, my leg is paining, I got fever, this, that. If you have to die anyway, you will die, isn't it? Can anybody save you? No. If death is already knocking on your door, you have to be dead. If you have to fall sick, you will be sick. Can acceptance come? If acceptance comes, you are in the Sattva Guna. If you have cheerfulness in your mind, everything is okay, doesn't matter. Then you are fine. Then, mind is unattached. You are not attached to anything and anybody. A few days ago, a very grave situation. Grave, very, like the whole mountain would have collapsed. Such a kind of a situation arose. And I was talking to this person. And I looked at that person. And I had expressionless face. It was a very devastating kind of a, oh my God, kind of a news. So I was just looking like this. I was not even showing any expression. The person is judging me. I'm so sorry, you are so sad. Sad from what angle do you think I am sad? There should be nothing bothering you. And it should not matter. Even if somebody is dead, does it matter? Placidity of mind is important in the Sattva Guna. And then you have to be totally unattached. There should be no attachment whatsoever. Neither with this body, the mind, the senses, or this world. Nobody is yours. Only God is yours. Krishna is yours. And that is what he says. It's only when you are in the Sattva, then only I can be realized, otherwise not. If you get upset, if you're angry, something happens, then you're finished. Got it? So only in the Sattva Guna, when your mind is placid, absolutely at peace, your mind stuff is cheerful. Chitta. Mind stuff means chitta. Chitta is mind stuff. Okay? Is cheerful. It's all well. All is well. All is well, you know. Amir Khan says that in Three Idiots. Like that. All is well. All is well. Like that. All is well. Why should it matter? Senses are subdued. Body is interpreted. And mind is unattached. Your mind should be unattached to anything and anybody. Don't bother your head about people. What has to be will be. Ke sara sara. Whatever will be will be. Those who have heard this song, you can listen to it. Ke sara sara. You know, like that. So why are you bothered? Right? And it's only when you are that you will be in Sattva. And if you are in Sattva, you can realize me. Krishna says these words to Uddhava. Only then can you realize me. Otherwise, no. No entry for other people. Okay? So we'll do the next verse. We are doing chapter 20, verse 17 of the Uddhava Gita. When a man under the influence of work has his intellect going hither and thither, sensory organs restless, organs of actions in a frenzy, and the mind is wandering, know by these signs that Rajas is up. If by the influence of work, your intellect is going hither and thither, what am I to do? What am I to do? What am I to do? You see, they're just like those vultures. You know, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Those kind of vultures, you know. What are you going to do? Because the work is so much. I have met people in my life where in the past they have told me, I have got so much of work to do. I should bring it home. I should do this. I should not be sleeping. Blah, 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 blah. What does he say? If your mind is going hither and thither, just because you are not having focus in your life, ask a person who goes and sits in the Shark Tank. Shark Tank doesn't mean Shark Tank, okay? They are going to fund you. Venture capitalists, investors. Ask this person, how does he feel? Am I going to get it? Am I not going to get it? Am I going to get it? Am I not? The kind of presentation that you have to do, the way in which you have to talk so that you can get some peanuts from these idiots called venture capitalists. They are, they are like those vultures. They neither are in the Sattva Guna or the Rajaguna. They have Rajas, but they have more Tamas. Because they want 30x, 40x, 3x, 4x, God knows how many x. You know what it means? X means what? I will give you 5 crore rupees. But when I exit the company 2 years or 3 years from now, I want 50 crores or 100 crores. Aha. Those who understand venture capitalism and how this is done will be happy to hear this. Those fellows are on the Tamoguna, sir. If you are getting stupid kind of profits, just for the heck of it, then I am going to put you in the devil category. Tongue like that in the Tamas. You will never see Krishna any time in your life. Don't worry. So, they are under the influence of work and they go hither and thither. Sensory organs are restless. They're always, fidgety. Fidgety, you understand? They're constantly, they'll drink a glass of water, they'll do this, they'll do that. Oh, get me water, get me this, get me that. Those kind of fidgety. The senses are literally like that, continuously moving. Their eyes are straining like this, like this, like this. Have you seen people who are sitting for the interview outside? They're always looking like this, like this, like this. Who is coming and calling me? Who is coming and calling? Nowadays the interviews are online. But earlier in olden times, maybe 2 years. Olden time means before Corona. BC. Okay, before Corona, right? So before C, BC. And now this is after Corona. So you can understand. This is still not after Corona. We are still in BC. Okay. So now think about it. Before Corona, people would sit in a queue and wait for their number to come. It never happened. And the person is always fidgety, wants to drink water, wants to do hundreds of things. So they are like that. Sensory organs are restless, and the organ of action is in a frenzy. You will find that their hands are moving, their legs are moving, their action organs are very, very active. From their eyes to their mouth, blah, 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 blah. They will sit in one place and just talk to themselves or to somebody nearby. Where are you coming from? What are you doing? You know, that kind of a thing. Why? What is there to do? If a flight is late, you should see these people. They are very restless. They're sitting over there, going from counter to counter to counter to counter. One day I was in the airport. Okay, I'll tell you one very funny thing which happened in the airport. My flight was supposed to be in the middle of the night. Okay, it got delayed by 2 hours. All right. So instead of leaving at 12:30 in the night, it was leaving at 3 o'clock or something. So I found the furthest corner, and I sat down over there and I said, I will sleep over here. And my hand was lying like this. Okay, on the neighboring seat. My hand was lying on the neighboring seat. Do you know what happened? Something touched my right hand. And I picked it up and I saw. It was a gold ring. It was a gold ring. 22 carat gold ring. Some idiot had lost it, see? So what I'm trying to tell you is, don't get upset because you are late. Don't get upset and angry. And don't even be hassled by all these things. It doesn't matter. What is the worst thing that can happen to you? You will die. See, I've always told people, when youngsters come, no, I'll tell them, if you are in love with a girl, okay, some boys, okay, so I'll tell them, why are you not going and telling her that you love her or you like her or whatever? No, I'm afraid I cannot talk to this person. I said, what is going to happen? Maximum, she will take her chappal out and she'll give you too tight tapak. That's it. No? At least you'll come to know she doesn't like you. So the idea is that at least you know. But to always live in that is not good. So organs of action are in frenzy. Mind is wandering constantly, giving you stories. This is the sign of Rajas. If you have a wandering mind, if your mind is always going from place to place to place to place to place, if you ever come and sit with me, I will give you some ideas which are going to make your mind wander too much. The reason is because I am trying to look at you. Are you in a position to rise to Sattva? Because before I give you those ideas, I have already told you what you're supposed to do. But your mind has not heard it. And because your mind has not heard it, then I give you ideas. And then I see, look at you. Whether this person is actually going to follow up or do something about it? No, they won't. Because that is Rajaguna. Wander the whole universe and not do anything. Then they fall from Rajas to Tamas. So did you get that? If you are under the influence of work and your intellect is going hither and thither, always thinking, how can I make money? How can I do this? That. Sensory organs are restless. Sensory organ, eyes are wandering here and there. Those kind of things. You want to know what is happening, those kind of things. And the organs of action in a frenzy, you're just active. And the mind is wandering. No, these are the signs of Rajas. So Rajas is up. So we have come to the end of verse 17. And we will stop over here and I will see you all on Monday evening. Got it? So I'll see you all on Monday evening. You take care. Have a great weekend, rather, Saturday, Sunday. See you all. Bye.